We are going to make a video on steps for making a children's book. There's going to be no editing, no nothing. We're just going to go through this. Okay, so first, brainstorm what ideas you have for a children's book. What age group are you targeting? What are you going for? What theme are you writing about? Friendship, sharing, teaching basic colors, letters, numbers. There's websites that show you different age group developmental stages that can help you come up with a theme if you don't already have one. What type of writing do you want? Do you want to rhyme? Do you want to have repetitive text? For example, in my book, I had repetitive text. Everything was I am. It was I am. So there was a lot of repetition for the kids to kind of predict what would come next. Do your research. After that, I did a ton of research. I read articles, I watched TikToks, I YouTubed. I learned a lot about what parents and teachers were looking for that age group of kids. So that helped a lot. I looked up also what is like the industry standard for page count, word count. For example, for children's picture books that I was doing, the standard was 32 pages. So I did kind of go off of that. That included your copyright page, your title page. You have to be able to divide it by 4 and get a whole number, pretty much. It's the way they print it. Somehow they did like fold the paper by 4. It's a whole thing. You also want to know like the standard sizes. What are you going to do? 8.5 by 8.5, 8 by 8. You just also have to know if you are going to plan on going through Amazon, you also have to know what they approve of too. And I do know for page sizes, they have a minimum of 24 pages also. So let's see where we're at here. I'm going to make sure I give you all this information. It's a lot in a short period of time. At this time, I did also research if I wanted to self-publish, go the indie publishing or the traditional route. And I did choose self-publishing. I know the traditional is a little harder to get into. Now came the fun part, is I started writing. And I didn't put any like judgment on myself or anything. I just wrote. I asked my friends and family and coworkers opinions. I rewrote it. I think I rewrote it like 10 times. I have a million drafts. You can see, I'm going to turn this over here. Let's see, how do I do that? Well, I guess I'm not super tech savvy, so I'm going to have to pause it, stop it, and turn around and show you. Here was some of my doodles, writing. Right here, I had a whole bunch of stuff. And actually, the beginning stuff was some of my research, too. I did some research. I did some page count. I have just notes. It looks like a mess right now. But this whole notebook has research and storylines. And here was another part of the story that I started. I did, like, what page, what goes on what page. I did this a few different times. This notebook was filled with it. Here's my fake book that I did that I would come up with each page. I would write it, make notes on how I wanted the page to look. I did a lot of this and I just had fun with it. If you know of anyone in the age group that you're going for, try to read this to them and get their feedback. I know there's really no pictures, but I kind of like acted out some of the pages for some kids, probably age 4 or 5, and I kind of got their feedback. Well, as much feedback as you can get from that age group. Once I was happy with my work, I went on Fiverr.com and I looked up an editor. Even if you don't think you need one, my advice is to get an editor anyway. They give great advice on self-publishing. Mine even did a little write-up on the description for Amazon. He was great. He gave me a ton of advice. You can just put on here children's book editor and they come up with a whole bunch here, and you can check their rating. You can message them. they give you a whole bunch of information. I like to look on reviews. I like to go with some that have like great communication. I really like the Fiverr for hiring for children's book editors and illustrators. Once it was edited, I went on copyright.gov right here, and I did a copyright for my manuscript. This was a little confusing, but they do have videos on YouTube and anything to walk you through the process. So far, I knew I wanted to self-publish, and there are multiple platforms to put your book on. I knew from researching I wanted Amazon KDP and Ingram Sparks. There are plenty more. Maybe one day I will put it on more, but those were just the two that I chose to go with because Amazon is more for people and customers to go and purchase your book, and Ingram Spark is more for the brick and mortar places like Barnes and Noble. If they want to make purchases, they would go more for like a Ingram Spark. And also, since I did not want to be limited just to Amazon KDP, I also wanted to purchase my own ISBN number. So for purchasing ISBN numbers, like I said, Amazon, they'll give you a free ISBN number, but then you're limited to just Amazon. Those ISBN numbers are above the barcode on the back of the book, and that would limit you to Amazon. If you purchase your own ISBN number, you can go to any platform and sell your book. I like to come to Bowker right here, and you can purchase your ISBN number. I did do, you can purchase in bulk. I did the 10 ISBN numbers because, for example, I was making a book in English and a book in Spanish, and that right there needed 4 ISBNs. The paperback needed 1, an ebook needed 1, and then the Spanish version paperback and the Spanish version ebook. So that was 4 right there. Okay, now that I did all that, I wanted to figure out if I wanted to do my own illustration or if I wanted to hire someone to illustrate. So if I were to do my own illustration, you can use apps like Canva, Photoshop, Procreate. There's many of apps out there. You can do some research and figure out what is best for you. I chose to hire someone. I figured that was the best option for me. And again, I went to Fiverr for that option. I know I was a little, I guess, picky. I wanted to make sure that I had an illustrator with really good communication. I had my own mock-up of the book, so I wanted to make sure that they went off of kind of the idea I had for each page. And the illustrator I had was great. She was very communicative. So for that too, I also want to make sure, I wanted to make sure that they drew a sketch of my main characters to kind of have a vision, make sure it matched the vision that I had in my head. The illustrator I went with sent me some illustrations, and I chose these two, and I think she charged like $10. But I was so happy that I did it because then I was able to choose the illustrations that I wanted. And I think she, like I said, she gave me like 3 different options for each of my characters. You can also check out their portfolios, see what kind of art they do. My illustrator did like custom art. I know some do the AI, some do vector. I chose to kind of do the original, so you can check out their profiles. I also like the fact that they show you the package deals. So I like to look on here. I do like to go with someone that does the background scene. They'll tell you here. I like to go with the color illustration, storyboard, book cover, definitely the layout, and definitely the book cover. Print ready, ebook formatting, source file, illustrations. I had more than one character, and unlimited revisions was also very important to me. So they had different package deals that will tell you here. So they will give you a quote on if you explain your book, and sometimes they would like you to download your manuscript and they will work with you on a quote. Also, too, they may, you want to make sure too that they give you the files for the platforms you're using. Like I wanted to make sure she had the file for Ingram, Sparks, and Amazon. And she did. She had it for both. And just a little tip, during the illustration process, post some updates to your social media, ask for opinions. It kind of gets the people involved in the process, and it's kind of gets you a little head start on the marketing. When the illustration is complete, make sure you get all of your files to upload to all of your platforms. And then it's kind of fun to look at your book online. So now you can create accounts. This is the Ingram Sparks. You go ahead and create an account and upload your information. I would also check some YouTube on Ingram Sparks. It is a little bit more complicated to upload than Amazon. This is the Amazon KDP site. You can create, manage your books from here. You can create from here. You would want to set up an account. This is where I can manage right here my ebook and my paperback, and I can also create and add more. You just want to create an account, and this Amazon is a little bit more self-explanatory than Ingram. And then I went through Hostinger and set up my own website, created my own website, toyarodriguez.com. I also did a little logo. I had my illustrator make a little logo of my book. Through Hostinger, it's pretty self-explanatory to set up a website. It was actually, I had a lot of fun doing this. It took a few days and a few different tries. I guess I had it set up a few different ways, but I finally settled on something I was happy with. So here's a little bit of the website. And I also did a business card too. I did those through Vistaprint, I believe. And here are my books. The English version and the Spanish version. Now it's time for marketing your book. Have fun, and I hope this video helps.